the monarchy provides, with the constitution, a degree of long-term stability that is actually quite hard to come by any other way.
Before Sandringham had even settled into its morning silence, the whole estate was already staring at a power move nobody saw coming. At exactly 10:15 a.m. on March 11th, 2026, the iron gates opened for a black Jaguar with civilian plates, and that one quiet arrival reportedly marked the collapse of old royal diplomacy inside the House of Windsor. There were no trumpets, no smiling aides, no polished palace photo moment, just the low roll of tyres over gravel as a senior partner from the elite law firm, Farah and Company, stepped out near the north wing holding a leather-bound dossier marked SR2026N. Minutes later, a formal legal seal was placed on the heavy oak doors, cutting off the rooms Queen Camilla had reportedly been preparing for a private 60-day summer retreat. The message was ice-cold and simple. Access denied. This was not some petty argument about bedrooms or old furniture. This was a legal shutdown, and Princess Anne allegedly moved like a chess player who had already seen the next 5 moves. According to household sources, this was not sudden bitterness. It was payback with paperwork, and it had been building behind the palace gates for days. The spark reportedly came on March 5th inside the tea room at Highgrove, where Anne confronted Camilla over Prince Andrew's treatment. A senior aide claimed Anne told the Queen Consort, "If my brother has no sanctuary at the Royal Lodge, then your comfort at Sandringham is no longer a priority for this family." Camilla allegedly reminded Anne of her rank, but Anne fired back. "Sanctuary is a privilege of loyalty, not a right of rank." That one line hit like a legal slap across the table. If you think Princess Anne is right to stand firm for her family's legacy, hit the like button and subscribe to House of Windsor right now. This story is moving fast, and every new detail makes the Sandringham fracture look less like gossip and more like a royal power struggle with locks, lawyers, and serious family history on the line. The legal weapon Anne's team used is being described as a masterclass in hereditary pressure. By filing a formal assertion of private use rights with the land registry, they reportedly triggered a dormant clause known as customary occupation. Because the North Wing has allegedly been used almost exclusively by Anne's household since 1990, the space cannot simply be reassigned without a family council agreement. That is not just smart. That is street-level strategy dressed in royal paperwork. Anne's team reportedly documented visits, usage patterns, and household records going back 36 years, creating a barrier even a sovereign spouse cannot easily jump over. The deeper timeline points back to February 19th, 2026, Prince Andrew's 66th birthday, when he was allegedly arrested at Wood Farm. While the world focused on Andrew's downfall, Anne was reportedly watching Camilla's next move very closely. Then came the red flag. Investigative records claim that on March 1st, Camilla quietly moved to transfer her personal property, Ray Mill House, an estate valued around £850,000. To Anne, this allegedly looked like preparation for a deeper move into Sandringham's private quarters, possibly pushing York-connected history further out of sight. That was the moment the Princess Royal appears to have decided enough was enough. By 10:45 a.m., the Sandringham staff were reportedly in full panic mode. The estate manager was told all master keys for the North Wing had to be handed over to Anne's legal representatives. When Camilla's office demanded an explanation, the response was said to be brutally brief. The Princess Royal's Council has invoked the customary use clauses. The wing was placed under a 21-day cooling-off period, and no entry was permitted. Camilla now finds herself in a stunning position. At 78, after decades of fighting public judgment to secure her place near the top of the monarchy, she is allegedly locked out of a guest wing by her own sister-in-law. The palace image of unity is not just cracked, it is lying on the floor in pieces. And inside that locked north wing sits the detail that changes everything. Hidden in the Blue Room is reportedly a 19th century safe containing private correspondence from the late Queen Elizabeth II about what insiders call the Andrew problem. Camilla allegedly wants those letters removed or destroyed to protect the crown's future, while Anne has locked the door to keep them exactly where they are. As of this hour, The locks have been changed. The Queen Consort is outside, and the Princess Royal holds the key. Who should control Sandringham? Tell us in the comments. Is this Camilla's right as Queen Consort? Or is Anne protecting the soul of the monarchy from being quietly rewritten behind closed doors? Keep watching, because the person with the physical key to that safe reportedly landed at Heathrow just 30 minutes ago, and they are not a member of the royal family. The old system of whispered deals and polite nods has officially been dragged into daylight. The 142-page filing has turned the Sandringham fracture from palace rumour into legal reality. Princess Anne's representatives have pushed the monarchy out of the age of gentlemen's agreements and into the age of legal firewalls, where every promise needs a signature and every room has a paper trail. For more than 50 years, the House of Windsor survived on quiet understandings, but as of 11 a.m. on March 11th, 2026, those understandings reportedly hit a wall. Anne is not just protecting a guest wing. She is forcing legal clarity over family comfort, and to her, compromise ended the moment the institution began distancing itself from Prince Andrew. A palace insider claims Anne told a senior official, "Harmony is a luxury we can no longer afford. When our history is being systematically erased, I am setting a boundary that will outlast my tenure." That is not a warning. That is a declaration. Under the current legal trigger, no staff member and no royal can enter the Blue Room without written authorization from Anne's council. Camilla reportedly views the move as open defiance against the king's authority, but Anne seems willing to take the heat. While this battle over space gets hotter, Andrew remains isolated at Wood Farm, and sources suggest Anne's legal move is meant to force the family to treat him with basic dignity, even after his honours were stripped. There are 3 possible endings now, and none of them are clean. The worst case is King Charles formally challenging Anne's residency rights, which could drag the monarchy into a public legal fight. The middle path is a frozen north wing, sealed and silent. The most likely outcome is a private settlement, where the king negotiates financial and residential terms for Andrew in exchange for Anne lifting the seals. But the safe changes everything. That safe is now being called the York Vault, and while Camilla and Anne fight over the door, the real battle is about what sits inside. A civilian reportedly cleared customs at Heathrow carrying a diplomat-style briefcase and was met by private security not connected to Buckingham Palace. This person is said to be a former private secretary to Queen Elizabeth II, and they may be the only one who knows the combination. The briefcase is now reportedly headed toward Norfolk, and the legal clock is ticking louder than ever. The locks have been changed, but the contents of that vault may be closer than ever to coming out. Who called this person to London? Subscribe and hit the notification bell for the final chapter of the Sandringham fracture. The end game has arrived. The royal tradition of gentlemen's agreements is now a relic of the past. As of noon on March 11th, 2026, the House of Windsor has entered its most dangerous phase, a legal civil war where blood is no longer thicker than water. Princess Anne's legal team has successfully asserted rights over the north wing of Sandringham, and the implications are vibrating through every royal residence from London to Edinburgh. Queen Camilla's blocked summer retreat is only the surface of this royal mess. What Princess Anne has triggered at Sandringham goes much deeper, because this move suggests the House of Windsor is no longer being managed by quiet family talks, but by solicitors, legal seals, and cold written orders. Princess Anne is reportedly choosing legal clarity for her household over the tired image of family unity. Sources inside the estate office claim the Princess Royal believes the old era of informal harmony is dead, crushed by what she sees as the institution's abandonment of her brother, Prince Andrew. To Anne, this is no longer about politeness. This is about territory, loyalty, and history. A junior clerk at Farrer and Company reportedly remembered one sharp instruction from a late-night strategy meeting. Anne allegedly told her lead solicitor, "We are not here to ask for permission. We are here to document a fact of possession that has existed for 36 years." That line says everything. She was not begging for space. She was putting ownership pressure on paper. And Anne was not finished. According to the same account, she made her position brutally clear. If the Crown wants the wing back, let them serve her in court. By bringing in top-tier legal counsel, Princess Anne has turned what used to be handled through handshakes into a paper trail that neither the Queen Consort nor the King can easily brush aside. That is not family drama anymore. That is defensive litigation with royal blood on both sides. Sandringham was once the place where the Windsors could hide from the cameras and breathe like normal people. Now, it has been turned into a cold, legal battlefield, with one sealed wing becoming the centre of a royal civil war. If this sudden move from the Princess Royal shocked you, like this video and subscribe to House of Windsor for the final investigation results. Comment the word boundary below if you think Anne is right to protect her space. Meanwhile, the human cost of this fracture is being felt at Wood Farm. Prince Andrew remains under heavy police investigation for misconduct in public office, and reports say the disgraced Duke of York is struggling with his mental health while isolated in a modest farmhouse. As Anne and Camilla fight over guest wings in the main house, Anne continues pushing for what she sees as basic dignity for her brother, even while the monarchy holds its hard line. A palace source claims King Charles and Princess Anne had a chilling exchange just 48 hours ago. The king allegedly told her, "The law must take its course, and that includes the laws of this house." That statement reportedly landed like ice, because Anne understood it as a warning. Charles was not stepping in as a brother. He was speaking like a monarch cornered by his own family. Based on the investigative dossier, 3 possible outcomes have now emerged. The worst case would be Queen Camilla escalating the conflict by demanding that the king issue an eviction order against Anne's household, dragging the family toward an unprecedented public legal battle. The middle path is a long stalemate, leaving the North Wing sealed and silent like a tomb for royal secrets. But insiders believe the most realistic outcome is the Sandringham Accord. In that version, King Charles quietly brokers a private deal where Andrew receives a permanent, low-profile residence in exchange for Anne releasing her legal grip on the North Wing. But even a secret deal may not stop what is already moving toward Norfolk. The former private secretary to the late Queen Elizabeth II, who landed at Heathrow earlier today, has reportedly reached the outer edge of the Norfolk estate. They are said to be carrying the physical keys and access code to the Blue Room safe. That safe allegedly holds the one document that could either soften Prince Andrew's legal troubles or lock his ruin into place forever. Anne set the boundary. Camilla challenged it. But the final answer may be sitting inside a 19th century vault. Whose side will the late Queen's private papers take? The shadow of the North Wing is stretching longer by the minute. Stay tuned for our final update as the vault is opened. The truth of the Sandringham fracture is now only minutes away from being revealed. By 1:45 p.m, the atmosphere at Sandringham had dropped to a freezing point. The 142-page legal dossier had officially taken hold of the North Wing, turning what began as an estate dispute into a high-stakes investigation of royal legacy. Then, a private armoured SUV entered the perimeter, carrying the individual who may hold the real power over this entire fracture. That individual, identified as a former private secretary to the late Queen Elizabeth II, arrived not at the King's request, but under a summons issued by Princess Anne's legal counsel. That detail alone sent shockwaves through the main house. It meant Anne's lawyers were moving faster than Buckingham Palace, and Camilla's office was being forced to watch from the sidelines. Inside the main house, tensions reportedly neared a breaking point. A senior housekeeping staff member overheard Queen Camilla speaking sharply to her chief of staff in the long gallery. Camilla allegedly demanded, "Why is a civilian being given passage through the gates when the Queen Consort is being treated as a trespasser in her own home?" The chief of staff reportedly had no answer, only a silent bow. That silence said more than any palace statement ever could. The North Wing remained locked down, and Princess Anne was not simply defending rooms. She was guarding the soul of the monarchy, or at least the version of it she believes the late Queen wanted protected. Behind the sealed doors of the Blue Room sits the 19th century safe now at the centre of this civil war. Investigative records suggest the briefcase carried by the former secretary contains sovereign archival access codes that were never transferred to King Charles after his coronation. That alleged administrative lapse has now become Anne's tactical shield. If you want to see the final evidence as this story unfolds, hit the like button and subscribe to House of Windsor. Comment below. Should the late Queen's private papers stay sealed, or is it time for full transparency? King Charles is now trapped in a royal stalemate. While managing his own serious health stabilization, he is watching his sister and wife tear through the family structure with legal weapons. One palace aide claims the king spent the early afternoon in his private study, refusing calls from both Anne and Camilla. He was allegedly heard telling a valet, "I cannot mediate a peace when the participants have already declared war. Let the law determine the boundaries of this house." The next 48 hours now carry 3 explosive possibilities. The worst case is a full collapse of the family's public image, with the Lord Chamberlain forced to publicly declare the North Wing a contested territory. The middle path is a long legal freeze, where the Blue Room safe stays locked for months and Prince Andrew's fate hangs in permanent limbo. But the most realistic scenario is the archival compromise. Princess Anne may allow the safe to be opened under neutral supervision, but only if anything connected to Prince Andrew is handled according to the late Queen's original private instructions. That condition would give Anne a win, protect the archive, and force Camilla to accept limits she never expected. Yet as of this minute, the former private secretary has stepped out of the vehicle and is approaching the North Wing entrance. He is clutching the briefcase holding the keys to the York vault. Princess Anne is waiting at the door. Queen Camilla is watching from the East Wing window. The safe is about to be opened, but then came the twist the lawyers did not expect. The person from Heathrow was authorised to enter the sealed zone, but he was not alone. A third party arrived with him, carrying a legal injunction that could stop the vault from being opened entirely. Who has the power to override both the Queen and the Princess Royal? The answer is hidden on the final page of the Sandringham dossier. Stay tuned for the reveal. The endgame has officially begun. At 3 p.m. on March 11th, 2026, the Sandringham North Wing standoff reached its ultimate confrontation. A private armoured SUV stopped exactly 10 paces from the entrance, and when the former private secretary to Queen Elizabeth II stepped out, the estate froze. He was not alone. The flight manifest from London revealed the final staggering twist. He had been accompanied by a senior official from the Royal Archives, carrying a sovereign injunction that effectively froze the entire estate in its tracks. A member of the Sandringham security detail, positioned near the North Wing foyer, described a chilling moment of silence. The moment the two legal teams faced each other on the stone steps, Sandringham stopped feeling like a royal home and started looking like a battlefield wrapped in tradition. Princess Anne reportedly stood at the top of the steps, silent and unreadable, watching as the Royal Archives official stepped forward with the injunction that could freeze the entire North Wing. When the official presented the papers, Anne did not back down. She reportedly looked him straight in the eye and asked, "Are you here to uphold the late Queen's final wishes, or are you here to act as an agent of the King's hesitation?" That question landed hard because it turned the whole dispute into something far bigger than rooms, rank, or family comfort. The official reportedly answered with one firm sentence: "I am here to ensure that the contents of the Blue Room safe remain a matter of state, not a matter of family dispute." And right there, the private structure of the House of Windsor seemed to crack open. The Sandringham fracture was no longer about who sleeps in which guest room. It had become a fight over who controls royal history itself. Princess Anne has built a legal fortress around the North Wing to protect what she believes are the family's most sensitive secrets, especially those connected to her brother, Prince Andrew. Queen Camilla, meanwhile, remains in the East Wing, reportedly in constant contact with her own solicitors, demanding that the injunction be used to seize the briefcase and the access codes before Anne's side can move any further. If you are following this high-stakes investigation and want to be alerted the second the safe is opened, hit the like button and subscribe to House of Windsor right now. Comment below with the word vault if you want to see the contents revealed in our next report, because this story is no longer quiet palace gossip. This is royal power politics with steel locks and legal teeth. The mechanism of this archival takeover is surgically precise. By invoking the Protocol of 1952, the Royal Archives reportedly have the power to seal any room containing sovereign correspondence during a period of family instability. The three-step process is simple but brutal. First, a state of dispute is formally recognized by the archives. Second, a civilian key holder is summoned to verify the lock's integrity. Finally, the room becomes a sovereign neutral zone, meaning neither the Queen Consort nor the Princess Royal can enter until the King signs a declassification order. The timeline of the last 4 hours has been a masterclass in tactical escalation. At noon, Anne's team legally changed the locks. At 1:45 p.m., the former private secretary entered the gates. By 3:15 p.m., the North Wing was reportedly surrounded by a specialized unit from the Metropolitan Police's Royalty and Specialist Protection Branch. The doors to the Blue Room stayed closed, and the safe remained unopened. Queen Camilla is reportedly trapped in a state of fury. A source near the East Wing claimed she told a senior valet, "This is a deliberate sabotage of my authority. They are treating the North Wing as an independent state within my own house." Those words show how deep this cut goes. To Camilla, this is not just a locked room. It is a direct challenge to her influence inside the estate. Meanwhile, Prince Andrew remains at Wood Farm, with his fate seemingly locked behind the oak doors of the main house. The man at the centre of this storm is not in the room, not at the table, and not in control of the papers that could shape his future. His name is everywhere, but his voice is nowhere. The investigative team has mapped out the final scenario tree for this breaking royal event. The worst case is a complete legal stalemate lasting through the summer, leaving the monarchy's internal war on the front page of every major newspaper. The middle ground scenario is a forced entry, where the archives take the safe by force and risk damaging the documents inside. But the most realistic scenario is the Sandringham stand-down. Under this plan, the king would finally be forced to leave his study, meet both his wife and sister in the neutral territory of the gardens, and agree to a triple lock protocol. That would allow the safe to be opened only when all three parties are present: the king, the queen, and the Princess Royal. As this drama unfolds, the person who landed at Heathrow earlier today is sitting inside the estate manager's office. The briefcase is on the table. The legal deadline for the injunction expires in exactly 12 hours. Then, the person holding the physical key looked at their watch and made one final phone call. Who was on the other end of that call? Was it Prince William, moving to protect his father's reign before this royal civil war spread beyond control? Or was it a legal team from California looking for its own leverage in the chaos? The truth of the Sandringham fracture was about to be revealed on the final page of this investigation. Subscribe and hit the notification bell because the vault is about to open. As the sun began to set over the Norfolk coastline at exactly 5 p.m. on March 11th, 2026, the Sandringham fracture reached its final minute. The legal stalemate had transformed into a royal reckoning, and the mystery surrounding the former private secretary's final phone call was finally solved. It was not London. It was not California. It was Prince William. Investigative sources confirmed that the person on the other end of that call was the Prince of Wales, speaking from a secure line to the estate manager's office. A junior staff member present during the conversation said William spoke with chilling, quiet authority. He reportedly told the civilian key holder, "The contents of that safe are a bridge to our past, not a weapon for the present. Hold your position until my arrival." That one call shifted the entire power dynamic away from both Queen Camilla and Princess Anne. While the two women had spent the last 12 hours fighting a legal war over access, rank, and authority, Prince William appeared to be moving with one goal in mind: secure the York Vault as a matter of future sovereign stability. He was not reacting. He was taking control. If you want to see the exclusive footage of Prince William's arrival at Sandringham tonight, hit the like button and subscribe to House of Windsor immediately. We are tracking every move in this developing archival crisis, and this final chapter could decide who truly holds power inside the modern monarchy. The immediate consequence of Prince William's call was visible on the ground. At 5:45 p.m., the Metropolitan Police widened the perimeter around the North Wing. The sovereign neutral zone was expanded to include the gardens, creating a physical buffer between the East Wing, where Queen Camilla remains, and the North Wing, where the solicitors are gathered. One palace official observing the king throughout the afternoon reported that His Majesty finally emerged from his study at 6 p.m. The king looked exhausted but resolute. He met with Princess Anne in the library for exactly 15 minutes. A witness later said the Princess Royal appeared stoic as they left, while the king was heard saying, "We cannot allow the walls of Sandringham to become the bars of a cage for this family. The keys will be used, but only under a collective seal." That brings us to the Sandringham Accord, the most realistic scenario for the next 12 hours. The mechanism is now in motion for the triple lock protocol. Drafted in haste by the Royal Archives official, this legal arrangement states that the 19th century safe inside the Blue Room will only be opened when 3 distinct digital and physical keys are inserted at the same time. One key is held by the king, one is held by the Princess Royal. The third remains with the civilian key holder, acting as a neutral witness for the Royal Archives. With that arrangement, Queen Camilla's 60-day summer retreat is now officially in limbo, and her influence over Sandringham's private spaces has been openly challenged. At 78 years old, the Queen Consort is facing a harsh new reality. A coalition between the King's sister and the King's heir has successfully blocked her from controlling one of the estate's most sensitive areas. A source close to Camilla claims she told her personal secretary, "They are not just locking a door, they are locking out the future I have tried to build for this house." Meanwhile, at Wood Farm, Prince Andrew remains the silent centre of this storm. The investigative dossier SR2026N suggests that the private correspondence inside the vault contains the late Queen's personal ledger of the York settlements. If these papers are declassified under the new protocol, they could either help Andrew push back against the allegations surrounding him or become the final grounds for his permanent exile from public life. As of 6:30 p.m, the lights in the North Wing have been turned on. The briefcase has been moved from the estate manager's office to the threshold of the Blue Room. Security has tightened. The solicitors have gone quiet. Prince William's helicopter has just been spotted over the estate perimeter, and everyone inside Sandringham now knows the same thing. The vault is no longer a secret. It is a deadline. In exactly 4 hours, at 10:30 p.m, the triple lock protocol will be executed. What will they find inside the Blue Room safe? Are these Queen Elizabeth II's final words of protection for her son, or are they a royal warrant for his complete removal from public life? The endgame is not about a guest wing anymore. It is about the truth that has allegedly been hidden at Sandringham for decades. It is about old loyalties, private ledgers, sealed letters, and the future of the crown being decided behind one locked door. When that safe opens, the House of Windsor may never look the same again. Stay tuned as we bring you the final reveal of the contents of the York Vault. The fracture is complete. The truth is coming. Tell us in the comments, do you believe Prince William is the only one who can save the family? Like this video, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe to House of Windsor for the final chapter.